Yo, 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 yo.
It's your boy Uchay. I got my boy
QDeezy.
We are the ill-advised wise guys.
Check out the full podcast, link below.
Yo, 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 yo. We are the ill-advised wise guys. It's your boy Uchay. I got my boy
QDeezy for Sheezy. It's way too easy. Beautiful, breezy, beautiful girls, or whatever the hell that thing is called. AKA the Widow's Peak Bandit. AKA Q did. Q did.
Okay.
He did.
Okay. I like the energy. I like it. Wait, so are you trying to say that you are God?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
God was the only one that did. I mean, you did. Jay did. If Jay did, I did too. We all
But
did.
Jay is Hova.
Yeah, that's blasphemous.
Hey,
Jay,
listen, that's what they say.
that is very blasphemous. Jehovah, Jays.
Jay, listen, anyway, we're going to get to that potentially. This is episode 120, I think 129.
129. Yes,
sir. Appreciate y'all for joining. You know, appreciate the first time listeners, last time listeners. If this is your first time rocking with us, thank you so much for joining. If not, if you don't like our face, if you don't like the shirt that QD has on, feel free to leave. If you don't like the shirt I have on, if you don't like the glasses, I don't give a damn. Feel free to get up out of here, man. We only rock with the real ones, okay? It's the real ones who are down with the wise gang, all right? That's what this is about.
I mean, there's no way.
That's what this is about.
The bling bling you got on, there's no way they can't like that. Look at that bling bling.
Hey, what do you mean? This is fake.
Bling bling. Every time you come around your city.
This is ling ling. This is minus the B. This is not real. It's not real shit. Come on.
Why?
You can't say you can't put that out there, man. I don't wear freaking real jewelry, man. I'm cheap. I'm cheap.
Well, so what is that? Rhinestones?
Nah, man. Hey, listen. Anyway, thank you guys, like I said, for joining the episode of the Ill-Advised Wise Guys podcast. We have a ton of topics to get to you guys in a few. But before we do, Q, how are you feeling, man? How are you feeling? This is prime time. This is a prime time episode, man. You know how we do. We normally record during the day when the sun is out, the birds is chirping. You know how it is, man. We here in prime time, man. I feel like the Super Bowl is about to start, man. Is that how you feel or no?
No, hell no.
No?
What you talking about?
You
Prime time.
get your game
hey,
up.
when you start getting older, prime time only that just means you had to go through a whole day of work to get to where you are now. I'm not as fresh. I need a sub. I actually have a substitute for this episode. Like,
do you?
They sub it in at halftime.
Who? Kid Cudi? Who's the sub?
Yeah, right.
The person has to look like you, right? Or no?
No, hell no. What are you talking about? I got a
sub.
I got a freaking Lithuanian right now about to come in right now and
Jesus
and
Christ.
kill it. They're about to kill it.
Yo, man. Hey. Well, he gonna get dunked on too, man. Listen, I'm killing all y'all, you and the sub that's gonna be on this episode.
Okay.
We got a lot of topics.
So
I'm killing you on every topic.
This is a debate.
It's a body. Okay. It's a body, bro.
All
It's a
right.
body.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just, you gotta talk shit, man. Why not? Anyway, man, let's jump right into it, man. Church announcements, man. I don't want to waste too much time on this episode, man. I think we do a lot of yapping before the episode starts. I'm trying to cut back on that, Let's do that.
Whatever you say, you like a criminal. You look like.
What did I do?
You look like Jay Prince. You got a black shirt and a chain. Whatever you say, sir.
Oh shit! Wait.
You look like you just had somebody in a chokehold before you got here.
Yo, I look like, remember that Martin episode with the dog, the Nino Brown?
Definitely.
All I need is my real dog.
That wasn't no real dog.
Cole, sit your $5 ass down. Now, where my CD play at? Hey, by the way,
that's a classic episode.
Yo, speaking of Martin, man, I appreciate y'all for making that clip that we put up on Instagram go viral, man, because, that was an impromptu combo you brought up on the last episode. Somehow you tied it back to something we were talking about, but like I told you, Martin was the funnier show. And as you saw from the comments, if you did read it,
I did.
That was the overwhelming response.
I mean, I was,
man.
I think I texted you on the side. I said I was playing devil's advocate on that one. Of course, I know Martin was the funnier show, but I actually, I went on a little Will Smith binge, like funniest parts of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I was like, yo, Will Smith was actually legit funny, man. Like he was legit funny, but nah, Martin was funny.
Definitely,
I think Martin was definitely funnier. But
Will
that
Smith
was cool, man. We
man.
got some fans. We got some
that was
people.
fire.
I love people disagreeing with me. As long as nobody calls me ugly, it's a win.
A couple people did, but who's counting? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, who's counting? Let's jump right into this, man. Church announcements, man. Listen, shout out to the people who made the Zero Skips playlist. We got a couple new submissions, a couple new additions. Zero Skips playlist streaming right now on Spotify. I think this week we got 2 songs that we highlighted. One was by a gentleman out of I think London named Savvy, who dropped a song called Dr. Sebi, which I thought was really, really fire and really interesting too, especially the messaging in the video, all dope. And then the second song was by a group named Cloud City out of LA. They dropped a song called Maybe You're the Reason. Y'all go stream Maybe You're the Reason right now, because that song is dope. Really, really dope. So shout out to them brothers. If you're an indie artist and you would like to get on the Zero Skips playlist, make sure to hit us in our DM or send us an email, and we'll see if we can make that happen. Make sure you like this episode, stream the episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think we're almost at 300 subscribers, man, on YouTube. So salute to y'all for rocking with the clips, rocking with the episodes, rocking with the shorts that we've been putting out. And yeah, man. Q.
Hey, do what he says. This guy
Or else.
has Ricos all over his resume. But anyway, check out Ratings Game. Check out ratingsgamemusic.com. RGM. We don't got no reviews. We don't have no album reviews this week, but next week there's some pretty cool stuff. Ari Lennox drops next week. I'm looking forward to that. But check us out still. We doing some good stuff there. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram. QDeezy, Foshizi on Twitter, I believe. On Instagram, I am the Widow Speak Band. I switch it all the time, right? So just check me out. Just Google me, whatever.
Are you sure you're going to show up in the Google search? That's the real question. Are you sure you want people to do that?
Of course not. But just try it.
Yo, listen, if people Google you, they may be disturbed at what they find. They may see some criminal background. I don't know, man. Are you sure you want people to do that?
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I'm not the first criminal you listen to. Didn't y'all listen to Donald Trump during the pandemic?
Hey, listen.
Anyway, sorry. Hey, this is just going left. Can we just start the topics, please?
I would love to start the topics.
I'm paid to do topics. I'm not paid.
Yo, listen.
Entertain.
Wait. You get paid? Damn.
Oh,
that's crazy,
you're damn
man.
right.
Damn,
Is it
crazy,
the Dream Vision Google AdSense up?
We need to talk to the bosses, man. This guy get paid. I'm not. That's crazy.
10 cents an hour, bruh.
Anywho, so we're gonna start this episode off by talking about artists versus labels, and also, when record contracts are signed, who's at fault for making sure the deal is correct? We've seen too many people, whether it's the artist side or the label side, come out and tell people, damn, I wish I would have restructured the deal some way in some form or fashion. We're going to talk about that, man. There's so many examples to bring up, but I think that's going to be an interesting conversation. After that, we're going to compare and contrast DJ Drama versus DJ Khaled.
Ooh.
Who would win in a versus? Not even just a versus battle, but in general, we've seen DJ Drama dominate the mixtape game. We've seen him dominate the underground game for years. it was so bad the authorities had to get involved because they were like, this guy's killing it too much in the mixtape era. You know, they arrested him and his crew. Luckily, they were able to get out of that. But we've also seen DJ Khaled dominate the singles and the more commercial scene for the longest. But I think, though, that these guys may be more alike than you guys may think. So we're going to see who's actually the better out of the two, or the greater out of the two if they were to go on the verses. And then after that, we're going to talk about why hip-hop is the only genre that seemingly highlights first week sales. I think it's really interesting that not hip hop is clearly not the only people to put out music. I mean, there's people dropping albums left and right, but for some odd reason, anytime a rapper drops an album, we have to know how much the first week album sales were. Personally, I find that a little odd. You know, you never hear Ariana Grande's first week sales, never hear Harry Styles' first week sales. You never hear R&B artists' first week sales like that. It's only in hip hop. We're going to do a little deep dive on that in a few. But first, we're going to kick off the show by talking about, can drill stand the test of time? Drill music, that is. You know, obviously drill music is not new. We've seen Chief Keef and company, you know, come up in the whole Chicago scene in the early 2010s, dominate that wave, inspire a whole world, if you will. At this point, I can genuinely say that with the expansion of drill in Europe and in various places in the U.S. But we've seen a new side of drill recently with the Bronx wave, right? And how they've influenced and introduced samples to the landscape. Even though Fabio Foreign is not from the Bronx, I know he's from Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. He seemingly is the guy, right, in this country as far as how people are looking at drill commercially and internationally. So Q, I know this is something that you feel some type of way about. You know, is drill a sound that you feel can last? Or do you think it's a fly-by-night and it's going to be out of here in a few years? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts or thoughts? What are my thoughts?
We've been through this, man. Your thoughts?
Anyway,
your
sorry. Good. Anyway.
Thotties.
Right now, Fabio's holding it down. And I think Fabio is showing from, song to song, he's showing that drill can go to another level. It can shift to another gear. And that's what I love about Fabio. He's, putting people in positions to succeed on drill songs. Like, the song that he has with Coi Leray and Chloe, right? Chloe and Chloe is doing pretty good.
Thought it was Queen Naija on that record.
Oh, is it Queen Naija? Okay, Queen Naija. My bad.
No wonder. Beyonce flip, I was listening. You talking about the Say My Name? Yeah, that's Queen Naija.
You know what? It's funny. I was listening to it on the radio and I was like, wait, Chloe? Wow. Like she sounds different. But anyway, he put Queen Naija and Coi Leray in positions to succeed. And then he linked up with the Kid Leroy. So like he's doing it to where, he's making it more of a universal sound. That's one thing I like about Fabio Foreign a lot. In my opinion, pop artists are starting to use the sound. R&B artists are starting to use the sound. Hip hop artists are starting to use the sound. There's something about the beats. There's an element in the beats that I think actually has longevity. Like, you know how trap, there's elements of trap that has longevity. There's elements of trap that you hear on commercials. Trap is never going to go away. You're always going to hear elements of it, from time to time. Trap has now transformed into several different variations. Like I've seen acid trap. I've seen country trap. Like there's a certain element in that genre or subgenre that people like and people are using. And I think there's a certain element in drill that definitely works. Now, at the same time, I do not want to fall prisoner of the moment because, reggae music was big at one point. It seems like, popular artists in the hip hop community and stuff like that kind of pushed it aside for the most part. Afro pop music is big. They kind of push sort of that sound. I mean, there's still like those Fireboy DMLs that are linking up with these other pop artists. I get that. But for the most part, Afro pop, the wave has gone down a little bit in the US. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I do think drill has elements that makes it something that can be here for a long ass time. I really do. Am I going to put my house on it? No. But I am definitely confident. And you're going to see it. Now, the question is, will it be completely infiltrated? Is the question. Like, will there be a Justin Bieber like pop artist that, you know, drops a bunch of songs that have drill in it and people start tying it to a certain person? Because I'm not exactly sure drill is tied to Fabio Foreign. I'm not sure. I know he does it a lot. It was tied to Pop Smoke at the time, but since then, a lot of people have touched it. Will it be tied to a certain person and then it skyrockets from there is the question. And if a pop artist gets their hand on it and blows up from there, oh man, who knows? This drill, all in all, drill's potential is endless to me. It's endless to me. And I like it. I like it. I like the Bronx drill, whatever you call it, where they start mixing like Bruno Mars songs. What's that joint? The joint, to the moon.
Yeah.
That just sounds so tight. It sounds so tight.
So that guy,
like the mushy fans and the gritty fans unite. The freaking man.
You know what's interesting, man? You know, we've had this combo before, like weeks ago, months ago, actually, I think it was. And you're saying a lot of the same things, so I kind of already knew where you were going to stand on this. You know, to me, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know if drill, at least what we've heard of drill so far, I don't think that is the type of sound that's going to last. Now, don't get me wrong. 100% on point. I'm on board. I believe in the sample driven wave that's happening in the Bronx drill wave. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's, from my understanding, through my research, that is where the introduction of the sampling started happening. I'm talking about the B Loves, the K Flocks, the new wave of drill coming out of the Bronx. That they're the ones that kind of introduced that. At least made it popping in this country. And you're right, the guy named whatever his name is, but the To The Moon guy, he's from the UK. What's interesting about drill is that bi-coastal marriage. I do think that if there's anything that is going to help drill maintain, it's the fact that, you know, typically when you have a sound, especially when hip hop has a major sound, it's regional, then it becomes national. But it's never really respected internationally like drill has. That is the one thing that maybe, if I'm going to make your argument more stronger, it's the fact that this is a sound that's more internationally driven where it's undeniable. When you got the England, UK, there's a Central C. If you guys know who Central C is, he's a dude that's getting a lot of play in the US and he's from London. Central right? C, yeah. Because he's a part of that drill wave. And because it's so closely tied with New York drill, right? Specifically Bronx drill, which is having a moment right now. You have the people out in London and England shining in the US. So I do think that bodes well for drill. Personally, the only way that I think that drill is going to continue to make its way is if they keep evolving the sound. Because I think that, unfortunately, what happens a lot of times when these type of sounds get more popping universally, they have to get watered down. And I know that sounds bad because who wants anything watered down? Listen, I like my beer. I love beer. I would never want to have a flat beer. I never want to have watered down beer. Can you imagine beer with ice in it? It's trash. You want to immediately get rid of it, right? Can you imagine a mixed drink that has ice that melted, it's no longer good. Anything that's watered down typically is not good. But unfortunately, if you want a sound to grow internationally, start to get blended with different sounds, whether it's the pop artist, the Kid Leroy's, who's kind of adjacent to rap, it's gonna have to take a turn sound wise and start to get mixed with other genres. So that to me is the way that drill will stay alive. We'll see if that happens though. We'll see.
I mean, the question is, do you like drill? Like, I mean, I think we all talk about drill, glowingly. We're like, we like this song or we like that song. But do you actually like drill? Because in my opinion, okay, this is my basic opinion of drill. When I first started listening to drill, I thought all the beats sounded the same. Like, I thought it was hard to tell the difference and what made it special. But then when different variations of drill started to come out, when I started to listen to drill more and more, other artists started to toy with it. Then I was like, okay, all right, I see its appeal. But at the end of the day, is it still a sound that you like? Is it a sound that you think has a sustainability for the long term? You know what I mean?
So that's tough, man, because you're talking to somebody right now who drill is not my favorite sound. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not my favorite sound. Do I like drill records? Of course. There's a bunch of joints that I like. There's a ton of drill artists that I like as well. But I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that a lot of these drill rappers sound the same over these beats. A lot of the production sounds the drum patterns sound very similar. It's to the point where it's very difficult to distinguish one artist from the next. Let's be real. I don't care how long you've been listening to drill. They're saying that about melodic rap. They're saying it about trap rap. They say, oh man, they're all rapping the same. It's not a knock. It's just more so to say that the ones who decide to or figure out how to like cut through and do something different over these drill beats typically are the ones who win and who shine the most. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just where we are right now in drill. Like, there's a lot of people making a lot of similar sounds. They're rapping exactly the same. But when they add a little twist, they're the ones who are going to stand out. I'll give you a little example right now. There's a girl who's blowing up right now. Her name is Ice Spice. She has this viral song out of, I think she's from the Bronx, if I'm not mistaken. Viral song that is called Munch. That's the name of the song. It's called Munch. A bunch of people are starting to notice her. Drake just, shot her DM. This is all over everywhere. People are starting to rock with her, right? She's coming up. I think that, number one, you don't see a lot of women in drill that are killing it. So I think she automatically stands out because she is somebody she's adding her own flavor to a sound that is heavily dominated by men. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's stuff like that. It's like either the women are going to do it great, or it's going to be somebody who sings over the drill song. There has to be somebody who does something different to stand out. I think that's kind of where we are with drill, in my opinion. Like, there has to be something different.
And that's where I think Fabio Foreign, I give him some credit because he is starting to do some things. Like that song with him and the Kid Leroy, I thought it was actually pretty unique. Like hearing the Kid Leroy like over that drill beat, do his whole like, swagged out Australian vibe, over it was definitely something that was unique. And I like honestly, that was where I actually had the question to myself after hearing that song. Because when we went to New York, that's when I brought it up. I was like, yo, I actually really like that song. I like it. It's enjoyable to listen to. But I also think it pushes drill forward. But, at the end of the day, is the sound good, though? Is it a
it's
good
crazy, bro.
sound? We can talk about sounds. We can talk about sounds all day, right? We can talk about how this person changed the game in this way. Or we can talk about this. But, I didn't always love every hip-hop sound. personally, I don't love the Detroit sound. You know, I don't love it. I think it's good. And I think when some people do it the right way, it's dope. Like T Grizzly. I don't love that sound, you know?
I don't love it either.
So it's okay to not love a sound, but it's popping. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I've not always loved the. Hey, I want to be okay when I go to LA, but I don't love that. You know when they do the LA.
I know exactly. Like, you know what's funny? You're bringing
trumpet sound. I don't love that sound.
Bro, you're bringing up LA because what's interesting is I see a lot of connections between the Detroit sound and the LA sound.
Yeah.
And when I say LA, I mean like the Bay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
There is.
They sound very similar. The production is the same. The way the dudes are rapping over these beats, they're very similar. Personally, that's not something that I gravitate towards. Sometimes I see the appeal, but that's not something I personally gravitate to. But you know how this goes, man. It's one thing for you to like something, and it's another thing for the world to like it.
Exactly.
So your opinion may be insignificant if the world starts to rock with the drill sound, right?
Yeah.
So is that where you are? Are you saying that you like it? You like drill? I need your firm answer.
So
you like drill
it's
or you don't like drill?
It's a tough one. I like it. And I only started liking it when I started hearing those mashups where people were taking like pop songs and mashing it with drill sounds. That's when I confidently said I like the sound. But before that, like when it was just like, you know, just a couple of drill artists doing it, I didn't love the sound. I didn't love it. Like I thought it sounded, I didn't think it sounded as dynamic as other sounds. You know what I mean? But now when you start adding it with maybe that was it. Like we needed to hear it mashed up with pop stuff for it to get to that next level. But, you know, I'm curious to see.
Hey, look. Hey, bro, like I told you before, man, this last thing before we move on. The worst thing that's going to happen for drills right now as they keep sampling is when they run out of samples. Interesting samples.
You said that. You texted.
When they run out of right now, they on 2000s right now. You notice all the beats right now are 2000 samples because you know you got to think about it. Like these are the songs that the kids grew up on.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
You got 19, 20-year-olds who were kids when them joints dropped. When they run out of songs, we'll see what happens then.
I mean,
maybe drill will be on top for years by that point, but we'll see.
They just need to just listen to Sean Kingston's first album, his Sean Kingston self-titled album. Just literally take every song from that album and make a drill beat out of it.
We can go to the slums where killers get hung. Shawty, I can take you there. I can take you there. Let's go. What?
You go. Take you there. I can take you there. Anyway, hey, I love that album.
Yeah, love it
Next topic. Diddy. So, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Papa Diddy, Pop, P Diddy, Love, whatever you want to call him. He actually received a Lifetime Achievement Award at BET on the BET Awards. I didn't watch the BET Awards. I don't know about you, by the way. I don't be watching those awards no more. BET Awards, MTV Awards. It just annoys me, bro. I just
I'm gonna be honest with you, real quick. Mm-hmm. I don't either. But after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, I'm a little tempted now. I'm like, damn, what the fuck am I missing? I might be missing something. You know what I'm saying? You might miss a slap or like, you know, somebody getting punched. I don't know.
Look, you'll watch it on YouTube.
Continue.
I didn't see it live on the Oscars. I actually saw it on Yahoo. Or actually, my sister texted me. She said, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I just woke up. I was like, wait, what am I reading? Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Then I saw it and I still didn't think it was real. It was like, oh, this is staged. What a good staging performance. But anyway, Diddy got a Lifetime Achievement Award. Actually, you know what? I wanna before I talk about this topic, I got a burning question. We're talking about all those cities, right? How do you pronounce some of these cities? Like, is it Maryland? Is it Maryland or is it Merlin? Maryland, Maryland, or Maryland?
Well, first off, that's a state, my brother, not a city.
Sorry, state.
Just want to point that out. Maybe you didn't go to school and get educated, but
that's true.
Look, it depends on who you ask, right?
What do you say?
I say Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. So
that's how I say
it's
it.
not Maryland.
I'm not saying what it's not. I'm telling you how I say it. I don't know what the correct pronunciation is.
Okay, so you say Maryland.
We may need to go ask. Listen, let's go ask the creator of Maryland. Who is that person?
Sir Maryland a lot.
Sir Maryland.
Okay. So then, Chicago. Is it Chicago, or Chicago?
No, actually, it's neither of the three.
Really?
So it's first off, it's Chicago.
Chicago.
You're
lying.
Which is a Native American. It's a Native American tribe. It's Chicago. Go look it up.
Chicago.
Go look it up.
Chicago.
No cap.
So all these people.
Go look it up.
So all these people on O Block are saying it wrong.
Listen, hey.
Chicago. Okay.
You would think people where they from. You would think people who live in that area would know how to pronounce where they're from, but yeah, that's not how it works all the time. You know how this goes.
Last one. Is it New Orleans, New Orleans, or New Orleans? New Orleans, New Orleans, or New Orleans?
Yo, what is this? Is this a game of Jeopardy? I kind of like this, man. I'm gonna go with neither of the three. Once again,
Okay.
That's my answer.
How do you say it?
You need to leave room for neither.
Okay,
it's
that's
A, B,
neither.
C, or D.
Okay, neither. Pick.
So I'm gonna go D. It's New Orleans.
No,
New
okay.
Orleans.
That sounds like Birdman. I'm from New Orleans.
New Orleans, baby.
So it's not
New Orleans.
so it's not New Orleans. All right.
Nah, it's from New Orleans. You heard me?
I was just curious. I've always been curious about stuff like that, But anyway, back to the topic.
I don't know what that had to do with anything, but I hope
We were
it ties
talking
to
about
something.
cities. We were talking about San Francisco, Detroit, and all that. And I was like, all these people have certain ways they say their cities' names. So I was like, you know what? There's a couple that I'm conflicted on. But
Okay.
Bad news, Virginia, by the way, is bad news. Bad news. All right. Anyway, Diddy got a Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards, and it's interesting because Diddy's history as a record executive is actually a little shaky. Like, there's actually history of people that was on his label that complained about not getting paid or him doing people dirty. And so the question is, did he deserve? I think he deserved the Lifetime Achievement Award. That's not a question at all. Diddy is great. Like, the fact that he was able to build what he did is amazing. He deserved the Lifetime Achievement Award. But people do feel some type of way because of how Diddy did some of his people on Bad Boy. So it's like, to me, I understand that, Diddy is a businessman, and I understand that he's going to write the contracts so it's favorable to himself. But is there still a moral obligation for Diddy to do right by the artist that he signed? Is there still, like, should we demonize Diddy because some of these artists maybe didn't read their contract? I'm not saying this is the case for Mace or Lox or whatever. I'm just saying, like, should we demonize these people, these record labels, for creating these contracts that are clearly shaky? Or should we demonize the artists for not actually reading their contracts?
Yeah. So I'll put it like this. Before I answer your question, I want to take a step back, because this is not just about Diddy. Really, I think this topic is about artists and labels, and also, like, whose responsibility is it to kind of and I'm paraphrasing basically what you said, like whose responsibility is it to ensure that the contract that is signed is appropriate, right? To me, that's the $1 million question. Unfortunately, it's not a very simple answer, in my opinion, because just like anything in business, there's always multiple sides, right? And I think that everybody has their own wants and needs that go into the deal, right? Like, you know, look, you and I, we watch NFL, we watch basketball, we watch sports, right? Like, they do trades all the time, right? There's trades that happen literally every day. Matter of fact, we were just talking about the Donovan Mitchell trade, right? To me, and I'll talk about sports real quick. I'm going to jump right back, though, I promise. To me, when these trades are evaluated, the person who wins the trade is the one who got the better value. Now, the beautiful thing about two teams who deal with each other, who know what they're doing, typically both teams got what they wanted, right? Like both teams got something valuable out of the deal. And so that typically happens when you're dealing with two people who know what they're doing. Unfortunately, now I'll tie this back to music. When you're dealing with a Diddy or a record label executive who is offering a record deal to somebody who doesn't have money and who just wants to be on and who just wants to get their name out and wants to get fame, wants to, you know, have all of the acclaim that comes with being a star, they don't have the leverage in order to negotiate a deal that will be in their full favor, more so than the label executive. And that's kind of where I'm at with this, right? And I think as we've kind of seen in 2021 and 2022 now and moving forward, you know, I think that the way people are getting signed and the way people are getting like these younger artists, they're getting deals and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of work that these artists have to do on their you know, by themselves. They have to build their own brand. They have to create content. They have to make their own music. They have to build a fan base before a label even decides to even want to work with you. And I think that if you're an artist out there and you're trying to become big, you should probably get a lawyer. You should probably get a business manager. You should probably get somebody who can vouch for you and who can negotiate terms in your deal that will work in your favor. Because unfortunately, what happens a lot of times is, and we've seen so many cases, I'm not making this up. We seen Megan Thee Stallion argue with her label, 1501, Carl Crawford and them. We seen Lil Uzi Vert with Generation Now, you know, DJ Drama's record label. We've seen so many examples of artists come out and complain, talking about, I don't think the deal that I signed initially is fair to me now that I blew up. I think it's a little, it's not cool for you to come back around. I'm okay with renegotiating. That part makes perfect sense. But don't tell me that we should feel sorry for you because you didn't know what you were signing when you first signed your signature on that deal. That to me is a little, I think it's going a little bit too far. I think these artists need to take a little bit more responsibility for what they're signing, because at the end of the day, someone with money who is a record label is going to offer you something. It's about what you're willing to accept. And if your terms are not met in that deal and you're not comfortable with it and it compromises your moral integrity, then maybe you should walk away. Now hear me out. Now before you say something, mm-hmm. I don't know where you're going with this. Mm-hmm. I want to tie this right back to Diddy, because now let's go to Diddy. Diddy got a Lifetime Achievement Award, right? Diddy's being praised for his contribution to hip hop and just music overall. So many artists like Mace have come out, the Locks. There's been so many people who've said Diddy jerked me in my contract and this, that, and the third. Birdman is another one included in this. There's so many examples in hip hop. Are we going to act like it's all Diddy's fault for the agreement that was signed by the artist and the label? To me, I think it's just an easy scapegoat. It's easy to blame the person who gave you the deal. It's so easy to blame them, but it's so hard to point the finger at yourself and be like, damn, yo, I didn't have a lawyer. I actually didn't know what I was doing when I signed that deal. I didn't know what I was doing. Damn, I wish I would have knew. Why don't we ever look at the artist like that and say, man, like, maybe you should have got a lawyer. Well, in the fact that you didn't, maybe that's the reason why you're in a deal that's not favorable to you as of today. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. I mean, so that's the funny thing, right? So I'm starting to think that in order to become a billionaire or whatever Diddy is, he's close to $1 billion. In order to become a billionaire or a super duper multi-millionaire, you do got to finesse, right? A little bit. I think finessing comes with the game. Like every single person, or let me not say every single person. There's some people that did it, without finessing. But a good chunk of the people that are in high positions today had to do some type of finessing to get there. Let's be honest with ourselves. They had to. Like, whether it's, okay, this person's worth $120K, but we're going to pay them $100K. If they start complaining, we're going to start doing signing bonuses. Like, you have to finesse to get to the top. That's the question. Do you have to have some form of finessing to get to the top? I mean, come on, man. Let's be real. Number one. Number two, maybe that deal was favorable at the time. Like, because Diddy, the thing about hip hop is a lot of times the people with these record labels are dealing with poor black people. Let's just call it how it is. People from the hood, poor black people trying to make it out, rappers, they don't really got anything. When they see a deal, they're like, okay, 80-20. We're going to take 80. You take 20. 20% is better than nothing. So when they make this deal, they're like, oh, at least I get 20%. I ain't got nothing. I'm going home to nothing. So at the time, it probably sounds like a good deal. But as it ages, it starts to look bad. Because here's the thing. Diddy, let's say for Mace, right? Diddy took a chance on Mace. That was an investment. The thing is, Mace blew up. So whatever initial deal Puff Daddy gave Mace at the time, at the end of the day, it was going to hurt if he blew up. You get what I'm saying? Like, notice how most people complain are the ones that blew up. There are situations where labels signed somebody and they were lazy. I put money into this artist. This artist didn't show up to shows. This artist doesn't go to the studio, et cetera, et cetera. That was investments that they lost. Nobody talks about that. What we talk about is, an artist signed a deal when they were 19 and they were nobody. And then now they're megastars and they are underpaid. So it's like, I'm not sitting here saying that, Diddy should lowball anybody or that Diddy finessing is the way to go. But what I'm trying to say is things change. Situations change. And I'm sure when Diddy signed Mace, as much, and listen, first and foremost, it saddens me that Mace and Diddy are going through this, for real. It saddens me. It sucks because I love both of them. Because of both of them, I love hip hop because they were like really my introduction to hip hop. It saddens me still to this day, Mace is cussing out Diddy. But to the defense of Diddy, he didn't know Mace was going to be a megastar. Whenever Mace signed that contract, Diddy had to do some work on his end to even get him to where he is. So, at the end of the day, I don't know. It's a catch-22. It's like, you win some, you lose some. Yeah, man, I just wanted to bring it up because with Diddy winning that award, it's like, it's a relevant topic. It's one of those topics that people feel, conflicted about. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
Listen. More importantly, we want to know what you guys think. Like, whose responsibility is it for the contract to be right? Is it the artist or the label, or is it a combination of both? You guys chime in. Let us know on social media. Let us know where you guys get in contact with us normally, and we shall go from there. Next topic. We got a comparison game today. I think this is what the people want, man. I think it's only right, to compare a few guys who, to me, have a lot of respect in the game. They've put in a lot of work.
Respect or respect?
Respect with a T, bro.
Respect.
No. Respect needs to be put on both of these guys' name. I'm talking about DJ Drama and DJ Khaled. Interestingly enough, everyone these days wants to talk about, verses, and, that seems to be the conversation these days. Anytime somebody's talking about a legacy act, they always want to know, hey, man, who would they go up against? Who would win? They did it for Usher. They did it for Chris Brown. They did it for DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled said he would face anybody. They did it for DJ Drama. I firmly believe that this will be a good battle. DJ Drama versus DJ Khaled going hit for hit. Q, tell me, don't give me your politically correct answer. Give me your firm answer. Who do you believe would actually, two things. Who do you believe will win in a versus battle? And then also, the second question is, who out of the two, in your opinion, has had a better career as a personality, as a musical executive, whatever it is these two gentlemen do? Who do you think has actually advanced more and who's done more things?
DJ Khaled is the answer to both. DJ Khaled would win at versus because DJ Khaled has always attached himself to star power. DJ Khaled his mission was always to make hits. DJ Drama's mission was to, take your favorite artist and turn them to a street legend. Subsequently you do get some hits with the street aspect, but DJ Khaled can play songs with Justin Bieber. DJ Khaled can play songs with Beyonce. Shining, 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 shining. Yeah, DJ Khaled has several Jay-Z features on his albums. So DJ Khaled will win a versus. It's all good though. DJ Khaled will win a versus. DJ Drama will put up a pretty decent fight. And in terms of careers, DJ Khaled wins that once again, just because DJ Khaled was able to span his influence is outside of music. DJ Khaled, people forget DJ Khaled was king of Snapchat at one point. DJ Khaled's Snapchats were must-see, not TV, I guess. We need to come up with a new term. Must-see TV is outdated. It was must-see social media. DJ Khaled was
must-see content.
Exactly. Must-see content. DJ Khaled was must-see content on Snapchat. Yep. And then, people really recognize him for his boisterous personality, his catchphrases, and things like that. So DJ Khaled probably clears DJ Drama. However, the question, I think the better question is, which career would you rather have? Would you rather have DJ Drama's career, or would you rather have DJ Khaled, where DJ Drama was more of a, DJ Khaled's probably DJ Drama's probably living more of a regular life. DJ Drama can probably go to the grocery store and people will be like, hey, aren't you that guy from the Tyler the Creator album? But then they leave him alone. DJ Khaled at this point is a superstar. I believe he actually has a star on the Walk of Fame. And
yep, he does.
With such, clout, you're not living a normal life. He's not a normal DJ. And I don't think DJ Khaled will ever get the recognition he deserves as a DJ. Like, for instance, I'll give you a good example. Shout out to On This Day in Hip Hop. The other day, I was looking at one of the posts that he put of ours, about the DJ tags. And we're like, how DJ tags back in the day. And I was reading the comments. And most people in the comments were saying, don't include DJ Khaled when you talk about DJs. There's the DJ K-Slays, there's the DJ Dramas, there's the DJ, Funk Flex and all those people. Don't include DJ Khaled in that. I'm curious to know how DJ Khaled feels. Like, does DJ Khaled feel that passionately about, being a DJ to where he gets insulted when somebody says you're not a real DJ? Or is it one of those things where he was like, whatever, I got money. So to me, if my goal was to be the best DJ ever, I don't think I want DJ Khaled's career. But if my goal was to just be like, yo, I want to make an impact on the music from a grandiose standpoint, oh yeah, DJ Khaled's career is popping. Oh, that's a good one.
That's, it's funny, man. As you're talking, I'm thinking, and I'm like, you said a couple interesting things. Number one, you're right. I mean, Drama is not as world renowned as a personality. I'll call him that. Then Khaled is. Khaled is literally the pinnacle of marketing a brand. Being an influencer, like literally, he does it better than I think anybody else. I'm telling you, you would be hard pressed to find somebody who markets their own personal brand better than DJ Khaled is, or Khaled has done. And so, from that standpoint, you're right, man. He's probably more of the rock star. He's probably somebody who can't really go and live a regular life 100%. To answer your question before. Mm-hmm. Khaled absolutely gets insulted about not being recognized as a DJ. How do I know that? Because I've heard him on interviews, whether it was the Drink Champs interview he just did. He puts a lot of emphasis on the fact that, y'all know me as the personality now, but like I get busy and I used to get busy, and anybody who knows me knows that I'm that dude. Like that's how he talks. And so obviously you and I didn't grow up in Miami. We're not of the age group that was around when Khaled was doing his thing as a DJ. He still DJs obviously now, but like the people who know, right? And that's really what Khaled is really getting at. And I think that I like that aspect from Khaled though, because you got to keep that. Really, what this comes down to is the title of DJ has changed over time. The DJ title has changed. It's more hats had to be worn for a DJ throughout history. To me, I think DJ Drama is easily to me the most successful mixtape, underground, truest sense in the word DJ. I'm talking about somebody who was affiliated with every possible rising artist who came up in the 2000s, who was really about that mixtape game. They had a mixtape with DJ Drama at some point in time, whether it was the Lil Waynes, whether it was the Gucci Mans, whether it was the Jeezys, whether it was the Waka Flockas, whether it was the T.I.s. Ludacris, name the name in the 2000s when Drama was the guy and he was the person who was really hosting these mixtapes, which is what DJs were ultimately doing. You couldn't find nobody bigger than Drama across the industry when it came to what a DJ traditionally was meant to be.
I mean, I feel like
you can't find nobody bigger, bro.
You couldn't find somebody more respected.
I'm talking about respected and impactful in the sense of being a DJ.
Oh, in the sense of being a DJ, yes. I mean, there was still, at the end of the day, like DJ Funk Flex. What DJ Funk Flex was able to do in terms of getting these people to freestyle, what he's still doing today. Like, I think
he gets a lot of respect.
But that was
Gets a lot of respect.
what he's doing is just as big as what Drama was doing. What Drama was doing was keeping the street element. You know, I mean, because think about it. Like Drama, Drama now is getting his flowers, but back then, Drama wasn't getting his flowers like he should have been getting his flowers. Like what we loved was the fact that Lil Wayne was coming out with a new mixtape. What we
the
loved
dedication
was Jeezy.
series.
Yeah,
The dedication series would
people
be
weren't
nothing
giving him,
without Drama.
But people weren't giving him. You're saying that now, but people back in the day weren't giving him his flowers like he deserved.
But this is not about back in the day. I'm talking about today. I mean, it's no different than Khaled. We're talking about Khaled.
Mm-hmm.
Khaled wasn't given the same way we talk about Khaled today. Khaled wasn't getting the respect on his first two albums. When he dropped Listen, he was putting out albums. Nobody was respecting Khaled in the way that they talk about Khaled now. Of course,
but
your career advances.
That was Khaled's stuff. That was his solo stuff.
Okay.
Like Khaled always made it a mission to be like, you know, whatever I drop or attach my name to, I'm the star. Like DJ Drama had these situations where it was like, yo, Jeezy's a star. But like I was the one that got Jeezy to do this mixtape. Because the one thing I loved about the mixtape album era, mixtape era, when it was at its highest peak, was you got a chance to get a new project from someone. Because it was like studio albums were divine back then. It was like people aren't just dropping studio albums. So DJ Drama was that buffer between a studio album and nothing. We got a mixtape.
Well, but let's also be honest. The idea of a mixtape meant so much more back then. It might as well have been an album for your person who
was
trying to put out music. It was an album.
It was an album for a lot of those people, but it was like at the time, those mixtapes, in my opinion, at the time, those mixtapes were just kind of like a way to market the artist even more from a street standpoint.
But I think though that idea of what a mixtape used to be back in the like early days, it changed during DJ Drama's run.
Oh, for sure.
The mixtape meant more during Drama's dominance than what it meant back when 50 Cent was putting out early mixtapes.
Sure.
I'm talking about in the late 90s and all these other people were putting out mixtapes. I mean, you think about it. Think about somebody like a Fabulous. To me, Fabulous's entire career, not entire, most of his career, at least half of it, is a direct result of his mixtape run and what he was able to do throughout his mixtapes. Obviously, Fabulous had his whole run with commercial music, the women for the music for the ladies and stuff like that, to Make You Better with Neo. We know he was about that life in that respect, but somebody like Fabulous wouldn't have the name he has without those mixtapes that he was dropping, hosted by DJ Drama in a lot of respects. We wouldn't respect Fabulous on that level if it wasn't all of them joints. They were important, bro. They were important.
But it's like I don't want people to see, because I think the issue is DJ Drama is getting his flowers now. I go back to that. DJ Drama is getting his flowers now. At the time, it wasn't like that. It wasn't looked at as like, oh yeah, DJ Drama is a mainstay. Because if you look at DJ Khaled, it's funny because I don't think there's who is there another DJ Khaled going on right now? Like,
you mean somebody else?
Usually, if they're DJ, if they blew up and they're DJ and they're doing solo stuff, is there a producer also? Like, I know Khaled produces, but like that's not necessarily his main thing. Like a DJ Mustard. Like DJ Mustard, I think, is a DJ and he does some great production stuff.
To me, the way I look at it is, I don't think there's a lot of people with the word DJ in their name per se that are doing what Khaled does. However, there's people like Calvin Harris who essentially is a DJ Khaled. Just without the name DJ in his name.
Yeah, he does honestly. DJ. He does DJ. But, I think, to me, DJ Drama, he gets his flowers because he stayed true to himself. Like, whatever thing that says DJ Drama, you're going to get those yells. You're gonna get just the random comments. Like it's funny that we talk about this. I was listening to the Lil Wayne album, and he was like, "This is the first mixtape you bumped with a black president." Like just random comments. I think he gets an A+ when it comes to stuff like that. But
I do.
Let's not act like he was getting his flowers back then. People weren't giving him his flowers the way he's getting it now.
I
pay attention now.
But I think when you say get flowers, like I think that's all relative. Like that's not important. Dude, Gucci Mane was not getting his flowers back then like that.
I mean,
like, but Gucci Mane, if you're anybody who knows about the craft, you know about the genre, and you would be idiotic to deny Gucci Mane's impact, and you would be idiotic to deny his run that he was on. So it's not about what you were acknowledging at the time. It's about when their career is progressing like it has, and they're continuously still dropping, and they're continuously still a part of the quote unquote culture. At some point, we all got to look back and be like, yo, this person was a part of a really big movement that should be more respected. Here's one thing I will say, though, before you go. One thing that's not debatable to me, we can talk all we want about comparisons and whatnot. I think that DJ Drama has been a better executive than DJ Khaled has been in terms of record label executive, putting on other artists.
That's not. I mean,
exactly.
He put on Jack Harlow, Uzi.
There you go. I think that's one thing that DJ Drama doesn't get enough credit for, even today. Khaled tried to put on Ace Hood. That worked for a bit, but he hasn't really successfully put out another artist, bro. He hasn't done it.
He hasn't put out. There was another. I think there's a reggae artist that he had on his label.
Kent Jones.
Kent Jones. But I mean,
Movado.
It's interesting. There's room for both, and I love that. There's room for both. DJ Khaled, at the end of the day, is a superstar. Like, he is a superstar. Like, DJ Khaled is out of here. Like, you can argue DJ Khaled, who Rick Ross and them was when I really started paying attention to DJ Khaled. You could argue he's bigger than Rick Ross. He is bigger than Rick Ross. And so to see that, it's really a big part of his personality. And so, it's cool. It's dope. I mean, it lets you know you can be anything, but your personality is what really pushes you. Like, I mean, you can be a freaking janitor, but if you got the personality, you can get a Walk of Fame.
Hey, look, bro. Salute to DJ Khaled and the dramas, and I think that they're the people that really are holding the DJ torch, and they're really pushing it to a whole nother level. Because I'm not about to go that deep because we about to move on to the next topic. But back in the day, the DJ was the star. It wasn't the rapper. It was the DJ. Hey. In the early days of hip hop, the DJ was the man. It was the rapper who was like at the aside. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because the DJ got stuff hyped up. Like, at the end of the day,
that's what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, we just want to be hyped up in life. We just want to be hyped up, and that's what DJs always do.
That's what they do. But I just think that DJ Khaled and Drama, they're like last of dying breeds, man. They don't make DJs like them no more, dog. They don't.
By the way, everybody wants to talk about, with Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa. You heard about that story about Wiz Khalifa yelling at the DJs?
Of course.
Like, to me, that was man. I didn't like that at all. I like Wiz Khalifa. I didn't like that at all because it was like you're diminishing how important this. You're belittling this DJ. But anyway,
Wiz was wrong for that.
Shout out to the DJs. Next topic, in the midst of barking dogs. This is the worst episode ever.
Yo, this is bad. This is really bad. It's so many interruptions, man. We got to. Yo, I hope you guys enjoying this, man. Listen, we got so many obstacles. You guys don't even know. You don't even believe it.
This is a prime time episode. Next topic. Why is hip hop the only genre that highlights first week album sales? So, this is a topic that you put up, but I definitely hear you on that. I definitely hear you on that because, when I'm looking through Twitter, they're like, oh, this person only sold 30,000. Oh, this person only sold 50,000. But you don't really necessarily get that same energy with pop artists, country artists. Because other than, this can be a very ignorant comment I'm about to say. Other than your top billing pop artist or country artist, are these other people selling like that? Like, are they really selling like that? So when we pick on somebody like a Ski Mask the Slump God, right? Ski Mask the Slump God is looked at as like, no offense to Ski Mask, I like Ski Mask a lot, but Ski Mask is looked at as like a D-lister, C-lister. Why do we pay attention to a D-lister, C-lister sales? Do we keep the same energy with D-list, C-list country music artists? Do we keep the same energy with C-list, D-list R&B artists? I mean, yeah, I'm throwing R&B in there. Do we keep the same energy with C-list, D-list pop artists? What you think?
Yeah, man. I brought this to you, man, and this was like really last minute. It just hit me. I'm sitting back and I'm just like, I'm like, why do we even know how much Megan Thee Stallion sold first week? Why do we know how much The Game sold first week? And then I was like, why do I never know anybody who's not black? I mean, I'm gonna go that route. And when I say black, I mean people who are not affiliated with hip hop culture. That's how I word this. Because I'll throw in The Weeknd, who obviously makes music for an international audience, right? I mean, you look at his last album, Dawn FM. I mean, the guy was experimenting in so many different ways. Like, we're talking electronic music, we're talking pop, we're talking R&B. The man did everything on that last album, which I think was pretty average. But, you and I will go back and forth at all times about that. It's besides the point, okay? It's not about how good the album was. What this is about is the fact that album was internationally sounding, meaning people around the world can appreciate that project. But The Weeknd, whether we like it or not, has one foot in hip hop culture because that's where he started. That's where he started. And he still makes music with people. He's still affiliated with people like the Navs. He's still affiliated with folks in hip hop culture. So I think that's how we know how much he sold when he was going back and forth with Gunna. If we guys remember that back in the Pushin' P. Now, with the exception of The Weeknd, I find it really disturbing and just really interesting that we never know how much anyone sells first week. And it made me think, like, why is that? Why is that never highlighted and put at the forefront? And my brain started going all types of different directions. So pardon me if none of this sounds concrete, but I want to have a conversation with you. This is not about me feeling some way definitively or not, because I want to bring something up that you and I we talked about off the record, in the words of 50 Cent a while ago. This has nothing to do with this, but if you remember, Vince Staples did that interview with Complex, and he was talking to Speedy Mormon, and he was saying, "Yo, like, why did they call the rap game the game? Why they call it that? Like, why don't they call it the country game? Why don't they call it the R&B game? Why is it the rap game? Like, and I think that without getting too deep, because that's not actually what this is about. It's just the fact that, like, I think my observation is correct. Like, you guys, I'm pretty sure if you know what I'm talking about, you've seen this, how it's not highlighted. But I do think, though, that hip hop artists are pitted against each other, and it's made to be this competition that the fans ultimately chime in on social media. I just find it really interesting that Ariana Grande can drop an album and nobody will hear a peep. I find it really interesting that the legacy acts can drop music and nobody knows what they sell first week. And the reason why I think it's not important, and that's where I'm really going, I don't think it's important what people sell first week. Ultimately, it's not important because the music lives on way beyond a week. I think that's obvious. I think everybody knows that, right? Like, it's not about what you do first week. And it's also, furthermore, the music is being used for more than just listening, right? In 2022, music is being licensed, right? They putting music on soundtracks. They're putting music in commercials. They're putting music. They're doing influencer campaigns with other brand deals, and there's so many things that you can do with actual music these days that first week numbers are really not that important. And I think that's why you don't really hear it throughout the entire music industry. But when it comes to hip hop, it's become sort of like a game in a way, like to get fans excited. And I think that's a little weird, and I think it's a little dangerous, man. Y'all should just simply pay attention. Let's not get caught up in first week numbers. They're not really that important. They don't judge how great music is. It's just not that important, guys. Q, what do you think? Am I crazy? Am I becoming too much of a conspiracy theorist? What are your thoughts on this?
So you gave the in a perfect world answer. You know what? From now on, we're going to call this show the Ill-Advised Devil Advocates. Because I'm just going to play devil's advocate just for today. You know,
let's do it.
I'm going to play devil's advocate in this scenario. And the real me is in between what you said and what I'm about to say. Hip hop, at the end of the day, number one, at the end of the day, we have to accept that numbers mean something. Can we please accept that? I'm tired of people saying age ain't nothing but a number. I'm tired of people saying, album sales don't mean anything. Stream sales don't mean anything. They mean something. Numbers do not lie. Okay? So when an artist says, if an artist sells, less than 100K or whatever the hell that magic number is, that says something. It doesn't say that you suck. That's the thing. It doesn't say that you suck, but it says something. It might say that your music didn't resonate with people. It might mean that your marketing was off, or it might mean you're not as popular as you think you are. Numbers say something. So can we please stop with the whole numbers don't mean anything?
I'm gonna answer that question. Let me answer the question, if you don't mind.
Great. This is not a shot at you, by the way. But
no. I know. But I want to answer for me and the people. Okay. However y'all want to answer that question, I think it's appropriate to answer that question.
Feel free.
You're right. Numbers mean something. What that something is varies.
It varies.
Based on who is presenting the numbers. That's what I would say.
It varies. And you're 100% right. I'm glad you said that. Number two, unfortunately, and like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. Unfortunately, hip hop is one of the only genres in which what they say, their lifestyle, and what they sell don't match. They just don't match. Like Ariana Grande is not over here talking about I got Rolls Royces, I got Benzes, I got this. I'm decked out. I'm the most popular. I'm the number one artist in the pop genre. She's not talking like that. So why bring up her numbers? It's not. It's relevant, but at the same time, she doesn't need to be demonized. She doesn't need to be insulted because she doesn't have the right numbers. But it's hip hop artists that say stuff like, hell yeah, I got all this money. I got all these followers. I got all these streams. I'm a rock star. You get that type of rhetoric from hip hop artists. And what we do as audience is we try to find ways to pretty much contradict what you're saying. So if you're saying like, yo, for instance, Tory Lanez, right? Tory Lanez came out and said, which I love Tory. Like, come on, man. I at the end of the day, I'm not trying to insult nobody. Has nothing to do with insult anybody. But Tory Lanez, I don't know if you read that comment. He said he's been reaching out to Drake.
I did see that. I saw that.
And somebody actually, and he said he reached out to Drake in the weekend, and they haven't responded. They don't want to get on a song with him
over the years.
Somebody responded and said, "Why would you put that on the internet? That's embarrassing." Tory Lanez responded and said, "It's not embarrassing because I'm just as big as them," or something like along the lines of, he said, like, "I'm a legend too." I'm an incredible artist too.
Said, yeah.
Right? With such rhetoric, that's going to give somebody the fuel to want to validate that. It's almost like, hip hop artists literally open up the floodgates for like fact checking. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, right? Another comment that I heard. Fabio Foreign said, "Me and Jay-Z were the ones that brought back long verses." It's like when you make a comment like that, you're opening up the floodgates for people to be like, okay, well, Fabio, how popular are you? Okay, what does your album sales look like? Okay, you're talking like you're on the same level as Jay-Z, but you only sold this. So you see what I'm saying? So I think hip hop artists with their braggadocious demeanors and, their braggadocious rhetoric open up the doors to be fact checked. They open up the doors to have their numbers be looked at. It's almost like, sorry, I'm just going to say this real quick. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, remember when, maybe you were in school and you talk too much. You know how like sometimes you can talk too much and then somebody starts to say, okay, well, let me actually look at your file. Or there's a such thing as talking too much. It can get you in trouble. Mm-hmm. Okay, you talk to the cops, right? If you get pulled over for DUI, right? And the cop asks you, how many drinks did you have? If you literally just be like, I didn't have any drinks. Okay, I smell that on your breath. I didn't have any drinks, But if you start to say, I went to a party, I went to, I had like one drink on my, then you're literally opening up the floodgates for them to start looking deeper into your history, looking deeper into what you've done. You know what I'm saying?
All right. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing,
I feel like hip hop artists get in trouble doing that.
I hear you. I understand what you're saying.
Another one. Sorry, I'll say. Sorry, I just want to give.
Go ahead.
References. I want to give
please.
References.
Jay-Z. I want to get my ish off.
Jay-Z on "Excuse Me, Miss" said, "Only dudes moving units and pimp juice in us." Jay-Z said that from a competitive standpoint. Only dudes moving units. Eminem, Nelly, pimp juice, and us. Rockefeller. Well, then that opens up the floodgates for somebody who wants to do an investigation. Okay, how many is Jay-Z actually selling more than Ludacris? Is Jay-Z? Oh, actually, in actuality, DMX's album sold more than Ludacris. So if we don't want that to be used against you, stop that type of rhetoric. Is me, the devil's advocate. This is not Quincy. This is devil's advocate.
Devil's cute. All right, look. Here's the thing. I see what you're saying, and you make a good point. And that plays on kind of the point I'm making, which is like, rappers historically have made everything competition based. Everything is competition. Mm-hmm. Everything. I don't give a damn what it is. It can be about how much money you got. Did you have the best song? Soulja Boy over here talking about. I just saw a report that says Soulja Boy. He said he created another thing. You want to know what he created now? He said, I started the trend about big. Big Draco, big this. How everyone's like, I'm big Lotto, I'm big this, I'm big that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's right or wrong anymore. But if he did it, great. But like this is the point. This is the problem with us, man. We keep trying to freaking. It's a who has the biggest dick competition. It's a dick measuring competition. That's what hip hop has been. I'm not gonna act like that isn't a part of his hip hop, and like I have a problem with that because I love it. When people beef, when we actually get rap beef and it's on record and nobody's dying, everyone loves it. When Pusha and Drake was going back and forth, everyone loved it. Nobody was like, yo, these brothers need to stop. Someone's gonna die. Everyone was like, yo, this is amazing, bro. We love this. This is for the culture.
Exactly.
I understand the energy of competition in the genre. So an element of me understands it. However, I think it does a disservice to the genre when all we do is simply minimize and highlight how much someone did first week when no other genre does it. It's not important. in the grand scheme of things. And furthermore, when you said numbers don't lie, that's cap. They over here, it's only been this year when this happened. This is the first year this has ever happened. And it started with the Jack Harlow record that came out, that trash album. Respectfully, that album was not good. He had a couple joints on there, but that album was not good overall. They projected how much the album was supposed to sell 2 weeks in advance. They said, I'm pausing on purpose. They said, this album is supposed to do 175. Okay.
That's not
the album is 2 weeks away.
That has nothing to do with the numbers. That has to do with these people projecting the numbers.
But
what did he actually sell?
But hear me out. My point is simple. The fact that they're projecting a hip hop album is the point that I'm making. Nobody projects a pop album. You don't see it highlighted all over social media. It's not on Billboard. Nobody's talking about how much a freaking hip hop album is pop album is projected. It's not reported on. That's the point I'm making.
But it's like how.
No, obviously that album didn't actually sell what it was projected. Yeah. But that's besides the point.
But we cry. We talk about how it doesn't happen in hip hop. Okay. Do you know how many people got wins because of that? Like, we talk about the bad side. Oh, yeah. When somebody projects bad or they didn't sell that well. But do you know how many more people probably bought the Carter 3 because it said it sold 730K or whatever in the first week? Do you know how many people were like, I got to listen to it now?
That shit did a milli. Did that do a milli first week?
That's true. It did do a milli. Do you know how many people, because it did a milli, was like, oh, I'm losing out. I'm one of the few people that didn't buy it. I got to go buy it now. So it actually works a lot of times. It works. But we just complain about it when it doesn't work. We just complain about it when it's disappointing. But do you know how many people actually gain from that? Like, for instance, Pooh Shiesty. I'll give you a direct example. I've always known Pooh Shiesty. I always knew the song about him and Lil Durk. I was like, yeah, it's a dope song. Then I saw his projections for his album. I think he almost or did sell 100K. And I was like, oh, this is a serious artist. Like, this is somebody who, like, people are rocking with. So it works to people's advantage. But far too many times, it's really to point out, like, the disappointing artist also. So it's a system that's fair.
I just think it's marketing. It's become marketing and it's become manipulation. That's all it is. It's a marketing tactic.
But it's
a marketing tactic.
Mad at it is what it is.
I'm not mad.
I understand.
I'm not mad at all.
I understand what you're saying, but it is what it is.
The inconsistencies across the music industry and how this only gets highlighted in hip hop. You don't have an answer for that. Nobody has an answer for that.
I just told you. Who is highlighting it?
A real answer. I'm talking about one that actually makes sense in the grand scheme of things.
Because at the end of the day, these people talk big talk. These people talk big talk, right?
Who cares? They
weird. Talk big talk.
It don't matter. Like, who cares?
Yeah. So
these pop artists don't talk big talk in their songs. Bro, you ever heard of Demi Lovato song? She be talking that shit. Bro, you ever heard Charlie XCX?
Bro,
she be talking that shit.
Bro,
what are you talking about,
bro?
I get what you're saying, but I think that's an excuse.
Bro,
it's just an excuse.
Listen, like I said, this is devil's advocate. This is not even me.
This guy's possessed.
This is devil's advocate talking because I agree, but at the end of the day, it's like, like you put it like, for instance, The Game, right? The Game was sitting here saying, he has an album of the year. It's going to be the greatest album in the world. Wait till it comes out. It made people curious to know how it was received. It made people curious to know how many records it sold. Like, it's just natural instincts.
Yo, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at Yahoo Sports, they actually talk about attendance at arenas. And it's like, it's up there. You can see it if you want to. And attendance, because MLB, let's see, now I'm going back to sports. Because baseball is considered a dying sport, they bring up attendance. They're like, okay, this is a freaking measurement that we have to show you to prove a certain point. So with rappers, hip hop artists, for those people that say that they're popping and they're one of the hottest artists out, we have a measurement to tell you whether you are or not. They're just decoding what people are saying, in my opinion.
And I call it weird. And I call it conveniently. It's convenient that's what happens in only hip hop. It's just convenient, man. It's weird. It's weird.
You and these hip hop conspiracy theorists.
It's not a conspiracy. It's an observation. That's what this is. It's an observation.
Maybe you're just looking at hip hop sites. Have you looked at a pop site? Have you looked at a pop site and seen if they have the numbers? What is a pop site, by the way?
What is a pop site?
Have you looked at Perez Hilton?
They don't report on music, sir.
Have you looked at the first week sales of Shawn Mendes? You don't know because you're not actually looking for it. You're looking for.
I'm on social media. I'm looking at these. They never report on it. It's my point. They don't report on it. I know you're trolling right at this point, so I'm about to get up out of here. But I want to know what you guys think. Am I tripping? But I will say this though. Like I said, it's just an observation, man. Just an observation. You know, it's one of those things that you acknowledge is something that you notice as well.
Hey, listen.
And you acknowledge that you're playing devil's advocate. I told you about playing devil, man. You need to find God. God did. God did.
Whatever you say, goon. This guy looks like a criminal. A sophisticated criminal, though. Like a criminal.
When the last time you saw a criminal with glasses on? Tell me that.
What?
Name one.
Let me think about this. A criminal with glasses. That's true. What's a criminal with glasses? Kingpin?
Who?
Dr. Robotnik?
All right, bro. You just naming people that were not drug lords.
Wait, didn't Kingpin have glasses? You know Kingpin, right? From Marvel Comics.
Yeah, of course.
He had glasses, right?
Did he?
I've never seen Kingpin. I've never seen Kingpin put his hands on anybody.
Yo, brother, man, we are yapping. We are yapping. Listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This has been dope. Subscribe to the YouTube
No, the
channel.
hell it wasn't.
We're almost at 300 subscribers. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to 300 subscribers. You feel me? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah.
I gotta create a bot. I gotta create a bot to get that 300.
Nah, we almost there, man. We almost there, man.
Do that. The old me would have did that.
Yeah, that's illegal, sir. Don't do that, please.
Oh, man.
Look, man. Anyway, let's get up out of here, man. I think this has been cool. We just yapped a little bit. It's cool though, man. Shit happens. It happens. It happens, guys. As always, if you are giving advice, just make sure it's ill. That's all I ask.
Yes, sir.